Welcome back to the B&B Spoilers channel. Today, we're diving deep into the explosive upcoming events and tangled revelations arriving on The Bold and the Beautiful for June 11, 2025. The episode promises a whirlwind of drama, moral conflict, and possibly life-altering consequences for some of your favorite characters. Let's unravel all the intrigue and suspense coming your way in this pivotal week on B&B. Remy Price's moral crossroads, redemption or ruin? Remy Price's journey takes center stage as he faces a moral challenge that could very well define the next chapter of his life. Known for his complicated past, including a regrettable episode of stalking Electra Forrester, Remy now stands at a critical decision point. His path to redemption is littered with temptation as he's drawn into Luna Nozawa's chaotic orbit. Viewers will witness Remy wrestling with his conscience. Should he support Luna in her questionable plans, potentially jeopardizing all the progress he's made, or take a stand and warn someone before things spiral out of control? Remy's inner conflict is heightened by his desire to atone for past misdeeds. The show may be hinting at a redemption arc, where Remy could become an unexpected hero, or fall back into patterns of poor judgment. His actions in the coming days may have far-reaching consequences, not just for himself, but for everyone caught in the crossfire of Luna's rising instability. Luna Nozawa's descent, gunfire and grievances. A shocking storyline this week centers on Luna Nozawa, whose emotional volatility is reaching alarming new heights. Fans will be glued to their screens as Luna breaks into Steffi Forrester Finnegan's home, a move that sets off a chain reaction of tension and danger. The drama intensifies when Luna, grappling with her rage and feelings of betrayal, heads to the shooting range. There, in a tense and cinematic moment, she repeatedly fires at a target, her mind clearly picturing Steffi as the recipient of her anger. Just as Luna seems about to lose herself in this dangerous fantasy, a surprising interruption occurs. Remy stumbles onto the scene, unwittingly becoming a witness to Luna's volatile state. Despite the gravity of the situation, Luna's mood shifts when she sees Remy, revealing the complex bond between them. Remy, perhaps not fully aware of Luna's inner turmoil, offers her practical advice and helps her improve her aim, an action that could have chilling ramifications. This sequence is a masterclass in suspense, as Remy's innocent assistance may inadvertently escalate Luna's vendetta. Later in the week, Remy is left stunned by Luna's impassioned ranting about Steffi. Her words are laced with resentment, and it becomes increasingly clear that Luna is teetering on the edge. Remy faces a critical decision: should he step in and try to defuse the ticking time bomb, or will he inadvertently become complicit in Luna's plans? Poppy Nozawa's alarm, a mother's fear. While Luna spirals out of control, her mother, Penelope Poppy Nozawa, is set to play a crucial role. Disturbed by recent intel from the ever-unpredictable Sheila Carter Sharp, Poppy confronts Luna in a tense and emotional exchange. Luna assures her mother that she's determined not to squander this second chance at life after her release from prison, asserting that nothing will stand in her way. However, Poppy senses something is terribly amiss with Luna's state of mind. The fear for Steffi's safety compels Poppy to take urgent action. She races to the hospital, where she finds Finn and Lee Finnegan, warning them with mounting anxiety about Luna's instability. Poppy's fear is palpable, and her warnings may be the only thing standing between Steffi and impending danger. Bill Spencer's heartfelt confession. Elsewhere, a significant meeting takes place between Lee and Bill Spencer. As the two discuss recent events, Bill makes a heartfelt confession, perhaps admitting he regrets playing a part in Luna's release from prison. This moment marks a turning point for Bill, who has often been portrayed as ruthless and calculating. Is this the start of a more compassionate Bill, or is he simply recognizing the consequences of his actions a little too late? Luna and Finn, rejection turns malevolent. Luna's next interaction brings her face to face with Finn. Seeking validation, or perhaps forgiveness, Luna is instead met with Finn's rejection. The pain of that rejection curdles into malice, and viewers will see Luna's demeanor shift from desperate to dangerously resolved. Her fixation on Steffi intensifies, hinting that she might be driven to take extreme measures. The Cliff House break-in, a ticking time bomb. By the end of the week, the narrative races toward a nerve-wracking climax. Luna, fueled by bitterness and rage, sneaks into Steffi's iconic Cliff House, her presence hidden to everyone inside. While Steffi goes about her evening, blissfully unaware, a storm is brewing right under her roof. This is where Liam Spencer may intervene just in the nick of time, adding a new layer of suspense to the already tense situation. Hope Logan and Brooke Logan, family divide and heartache. Meanwhile, family drama unfolds as Hope Logan encourages Liam to be honest about his health struggles, including his recently discovered brain tumor. The implication is that honesty will bring healing, but it may also expose fractures in relationships. Hope has her own crossroads to navigate. She confides in her mother, Brooke Logan, about her plan to take Beth Spencer and move into Carter Walton's loft. For Brooke, this move feels like yet another loss, and her heartbreak adds emotional depth to the week's high-stakes action. Steffi's fate and a cliffhanger for the ages. As the episode reaches its crescendo, the question on everyone's mind is whether Steffi will fall victim to Luna's vendetta, or if fate will intervene. The potential for chaos is sky-high. Will someone else be caught in the crossfire? Could Luna make a daring escape, or will she be stopped and face the consequences of her actions at last? The return of Nick Marone, a new dawn? Finally, viewers will be treated to the much-anticipated return of Nick Marone on June 16. Nick's comeback could signal a new beginning, especially for Brooke, who has weathered a string of losses. Will his arrival offer her hope, or stir up even more drama in an already volatile landscape? Next, we dive deep into the tumultuous transformation of Luna on the bold and the beautiful Luna Nozawa arrived on the canvas of Los Angeles with all the promise of a starlet destined for the catwalks and boardrooms of Forrester Creations. Her initial portrayal was that of an endearing, wide-eyed intern, harboring dreams not just of fashion but of romance with one of the eligible Forrester bachelors, in particular, the kind-hearted R.J. Forrester. Soft-spoken and seemingly innocent, Luna's arrival seemed like a breath of fresh air, her eyes sparkling with ambition and her heart seemingly in the right place. However, beneath this facade of purity, a darker narrative was brewing, one that would see Luna's character take a path less traveled by the sweet interns of soap operas. As Luna settled into her role at Forrester Creations, her attraction to RJ began to wane, her desires shifting towards a man with a more seasoned presence, Zend Forrester. Luna's original plan of a starry-eyed romance with RJ morphed into a calculated pursuit of power, status, and perhaps, a deeper connection with someone who could offer more than just youthful affection. It's worth pondering what catalyzed this shift in Luna's character. According to the crew behind B&B, Luna's murky family background, particularly her unknown paternal lineage, played a significant role. Luna was under the impression that Bill Spencer might be her biological father, thanks to a mix-up or perhaps deliberate deception in the paternity test results. Her yearning for a stable father figure was palpable, driving her to extremes to secure a life she believed she deserved. Luna's character took a sinister turn when she decided to eliminate those she perceived as obstacles on her path. The first to bear the brunt of Luna's newfound darkness was Hollis, a junior executive at Forrester who Luna believed would stand in her way. Tom, another unfortunate soul who Luna mistakenly thought was her father, also became a casualty of her relentless pursuit. Analyzing Luna's actions, One could argue that her transformation from sweet intern to a ruthless schemer mirrors a real-life psychological condition known as the daughter of a narcissist syndrome, where individuals grow up lacking a stable father figure, leading to extreme behaviors to gain validation and love. Luna felt abandoned and unloved, a void she desperately tried to fill by any means necessary. Her spiraling didn't stop with her descent into murder. The consequences of her actions rippled through her relationships, including her burgeoning romance with Finn, whom she later discovered was indeed her biological father. This revelation didn't bring Luna peace. Instead, it fueled her jealousy and desperation to be part of his life, especially since Steffi was vehemently against the idea. Luna's story arc isn't just about her descent into villainy. It's a commentary on the effects of perceived abandonment, the power of family lineage, and the lengths one might go to claim their rightful place. Her journey on B&B takes viewers through a tumultuous ride, where each episode uncovers another layer of Luna's psyche, making viewers question whether she was always capable of such malevolence or if her environment turned her into a predator in designer heels. The future of Luna on The Bold and the Beautiful remains uncertain. Will she find redemption, or will her quest for power and validation continue to spiral, creating chaos in her wake? As storylines unfold, we'll see if Luna's dark path can find light or if she'll remain a cautionary tale of where ambition and desperation can lead. Next, we're diving into the curious case of Sheila Carter's fashion downfall, and what it might really say about The Bold and the Beautiful shifting priorities. For decades, Sheila Carter has been one of the most fearsome and captivating villains in daytime television. Whether she was plotting revenge, staging comebacks from the dead, or simply staring someone down with those icy eyes, Sheila was a force to be reckoned with. Her presence on The Bold and the Beautiful has always been larger than life, and that used to extend to her wardrobe, too. But lately, something's changed. Sheila doesn't look like the vengeful femme fatale we've come to know. In fact, she's starting to resemble a character from a completely different show, one where luxury and allure are swapped out for discount sweatpants and oversized hoodies. B&B fans have taken notice, and they are not impressed. Sheila Carter, from power dresser to discount casual. Sheila used to enter every scene looking like she'd just stepped off the set of a power-driven soap opera dynasty, hair immaculate, makeup sharp, clothes screaming confidence and chaos. But in recent episodes, she's looked more like someone who got lost on her way to the grocery store. We're talking budget loungewear, baggy basics, and fabrics that don't scream Hollywood villainous, they whisper laundry day. Some fans are chalking it up to possible budget cuts at The Bold and the Beautiful, suggesting the wardrobe department is quietly pulling back on costs. With rising production expenses and a shift in audience viewing habits, it wouldn't be shocking if the show is tightening its belt, and that includes Sheila's pants, figuratively and literally. But why Sheila? That's the part that baffles many viewers. If anyone should be spared from austerity, it's the villain who always makes an entrance. Could this be a creative choice by the writers? A subtle nod to a change in Sheila's storyline or character arc? From fearsome to frumpy. A strategic devolution? Let's entertain the idea that Sheila's fashion downgrade is intentional. Could this be the writer's way of signaling a shift in her power? Sheila has often risen and fallen like a phoenix in heels. Maybe this is her fall period, the narrative equivalent of rock bottom, and she'll soon come back, stronger and better dressed. Soap operas love a good redemption arc or dramatic comeback. Perhaps Sheila's dowdy wardrobe is setting the stage for a massive transformation. After all, nothing hits harder than a villain returning to wreak havoc, this time in a killer dress and heels. It's a move we've seen in other dramas: take a character down to the dregs, strip away their pride and style, and then build them back up. If that's the goal, we may be on the verge of a plot explosion. Fan theories and frustration, what the audience is saying. The internet has been ablaze with commentary. Fans have flooded social media with reactions that range from confusion to outright fury. One post joked, "I wouldn't be surprised if Sheila turned around and killed someone after catching a glimpse of herself in a mirror." Another chimed in, "Give this woman a villainous soundtrack, at least. Where's the drama?" Others were more analytical. "She's the main antagonist, shouldn't she look the part?" one viewer asked. And many were quick to compare her current state to characters like Brooke Logan or Steffi Forrester, who seem to have wardrobe budgets the size of a small nation. "Maybe all the money's going to Steffi's closet," another fan speculated. "She's always dressed like a CEO in Milan." One particularly cutting comment summed up the mood. "I used to watch B&B for the fashion, now everyone's looking bland and basic. The glamour is gone." The bigger picture, is B&B facing a style crisis? Sheila's wardrobe is only one symptom of what some are calling a broader fashion crisis on the bold and the beautiful. Longtime viewers have noticed that the show's overall style has dipped. Where once it was runway-worthy ensembles in every episode, now the looks are increasingly off the rack, and not in a chic way. It's especially glaring in a show that has historically treated fashion like a character in its own right. With the Forrester Creations fashion house being a central part of the plot, the show has always intertwined fashion with identity, power, and conflict. When characters stop dressing the part, it can send mixed signals to viewers. Is this a result of production constraints? Has the show's focus shifted away from aesthetic and toward other storytelling elements? Or are we seeing the effects of streaming-era economics, where even major soap operas have to recalibrate? A deeper dive into Sheila's character shift. If we zoom out a bit, Sheila's fashion freefall might reflect something deeper. Could it be that the writers are trying to humanize her, make her less of a villain and more of a sympathetic figure? Dressing her down might be a way of stripping her of her legendary persona, making room for a storyline that's more vulnerable, raw, and character-driven. There's precedence for this. Think of anti-heroes like Walter White or Tony Soprano. Their iconic moments often came when they were at their worst, visually and emotionally. If B&B is taking a more psychological route with Sheila, the costume changes might be more than cosmetic. Then again, maybe it's not that deep. Maybe someone in wardrobe just made a call, and the rest of the crew went with it. That's the beauty of soap opera speculation. Sometimes it's Shakespearean, sometimes it's a spreadsheet mistake. What comes next for Sheila, and her style? Here's where it gets interesting. If the writers are intentionally stripping down Sheila's image, the payoff needs to be massive. Viewers will expect a resurrection, and not just narratively. They'll want the full Sheila, evil, explosive, and exquisitely dressed. Imagine the moment she walks into Forrester Creations in a blood-red dress, head held high, every camera angle savoring the return of a legend. That's the payoff we're waiting for. And if the show is smart, they'll let her have it. Of course, the real danger is that B&B might never address the change. If Sheila continues to wear bargain bin outfits without narrative justification, it risks damaging the illusion. A soap opera's power lies in its consistency, not in realism, but in delivering fantasy with conviction. That includes making sure every villain looks like they could kill you and steal your husband, all while wearing $800 stilettos. Final thoughts: fashion is storytelling, or just bad choices? There's no denying that something is off with Sheila Carter's current look. Whether it's a calculated narrative move or a casualty of budget cuts, the effect is the same: it breaks the illusion. And for a show like The Bold and the Beautiful, where illusion is everything, that's a risky game. But if there's one thing fans know about Sheila, it's this: she always finds a way back. And when she does, she better be dressed to destroy. Until then, we'll be watching, speculating, and hoping that someone in wardrobe remembers what made this show iconic in the first place: bold choices, beautiful chaos, and characters who dress like they own the drama, not like they just rolled out of bed. Stay tuned, B&B fans. This fashion saga might just be the beginning.